Hello PO community, I am Tyki7125, and I am bringing you guys a very nice battle ahead against a fellow contributor, HerpyDerpy. Now, what makes this battle special is that we're doing a word battle, which, if you guys don't know, is basically where you choose a 6-letter word, and then you base your team around that word by choosing Pokemon whose first letters of their name starts with those letters. We chose the word Golden, and this is in the Wi-Fi LU tier. I brought Galvantula, Octillery, Lopunny, Dusknoir, Entei, and Noctowl, where he brought Giraffrag, Onix, Lantern, Drifloon, Emboar, and Ninjask. The teams aren't that special because we just built them for funsies. They just run sets that work and just make a okay team. So we decided to lead off with our Gs. He has Giraffrag, I have Galvantula, and I decide, hey, why not? I'll just go for the Bug Buzz first turn. So he just switches into Lantern because he knows the Bug Buzz is coming, or if I do go for the Volt Switch, he's going to Volt Absorb it, and it's just not going to work because Volt Absorb. Now, I wanted to think I'm choiced, because a lot of Galvantulas are generally Scarfed or Specs, so I make the hard switch into Lopunny, because I can't go for the Volt Switch, and he Thunder Waves my Lopunny. Now, the Thunder Wave is annoying, but I'm just trying to pull off a switcheroo just to give this Lantern a choice band, because most Lanterns are pretty bulky, and being able to give a wall a choice item very much hinders them. He gets Parahacks on my Lopunny, which is annoying, because he's going to be able to get another chunk off my health with a Thunderbolt. And I'm just going to give him the choice band, and he's locked into Thunderbolt now. Actually, he isn't because of weird trick mechanics. And he's just going to go for the Thunderbolt again, though, which I know I'll be able to take with my Galvantula. And I'm just going to hit it with an Energy Ball, see how much it does. It doesn't do too much to a Lantern, but that's to be expected because Lanterns are generally very bulky. And he just goes for another Thunderbolt, probably scouting to see if I do have the Energy Ball. I do. Now, he's going to go into his Giraffrag predicting the Energy Ball because he has Sap Sipper. But I'm going to reveal that I'm not choiced and will just OHKO him with a Bug Buzz because, I mean, Galvantula has a pretty high special attack. Now, he's pretty pissed off about that choice buff, and he just brings a Lantern. And I decide I'm just going to go for Energy Balls because Galvantula pretty much did its work. He's going to go for the Scald here, but it doesn't take out my Galvantula, and having it no burn really doesn't matter because I'll be able to live because I'm over 12.5% health. And I'll just be able to kill that Lantern off with an Energy Ball. And he's going to bring in Ninjask here. So I know this is going to be a Baton Pass Ninjask because I know Herpy and he just loves Baton Pass chains so much. And I'm just going to try to Volt Switch out of here even though I know he's going to protect, getting as many speed boosts as possible so he can pass it out to something. And he's just gonna X-Scissor my Galvantula, go for the kill. I really don't mind because Galvantula did its job, and now I get a safe switch into something. Now, here I go into Choice Banded Entei, and I'm gonna go straight for the extreme speed here, where you think, why doesn't he go for Protect? Well, he wanted to make sure I wasn't the Sub-Calm Mind Entei, which would have swept through his entire team. And if I did go for the sub when he protected, I pretty much would sleep his entire team. So we went for the substitute so we'd both have subs, so we'd have to break each other's subs. Now, he knows I'm banded now, so he's just going for the protect substitute shenanigans, which are really annoying to me. That is stall time. And he just makes a hard switch into Drifloon because he knows Extreme Speed's coming. And Drifloon is Ghost type, so it will be immune to my Extreme Speed. I just want to get rid of the Ninja, so I don't bother predicting. And I go into Noctowl, like fully aware Shadow Ball won't do anything to me, but he has Substitute. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm not too worried because I have Whirlwind, which will always get rid of your Substitute. He goes for Stockpile, not aware that I have the Whirlwind yet, and Whirlwind also has negative priority. So I will be going last, and I Whirlwind him into an Onix. So I'm just thinking this thing's just going to be a standard defensive wall. And I'm just gonna go straight for a Toxic on it, so we just exchanged Toxics. And he seems pretty happy about that. I mean, I'm gonna assume now that he's like Restock Onix, so I just go right into Lopunny, just trying to get a large chunk on him with the jump kick. But what's going to happen here is he's going to switch into Ninjask, predicting probably either a switcheroo or a jump kick, but I just get the pair hacks anyway. If I went for the frustration, that would have been awesome for me, because I'd be able to get rid of this Ninjask, but no, I went for the jump kick, so the pair hacks really doesn't matter. We did calcs, it doesn't mean anything. You see he's able to go for the sub here. It just changes a couple of turns, it doesn't make too much difference, don't worry, we did a calc and stuff. He just kills me off an X-Scissor here. He's just getting his speed boosts, because that's what Ninjasks do, and they're annoying little bugs. And I'll just go into Entei here, because Entei pretty much ruins his plan with Ninjask here. And he completely realizes this, and he just goes for Protect, scanning out which move I'm going to lock myself into, because he knows I'm banded at this point. I go for the Flare Blitz, just because I know it's going to do a lot of damage to whatever, and I was also, like, predicting a switch, but, yeah, Protect was a smart move there, just make sure he can baton pass into something that will take the Flare Blitz very well. He goes into Onyx here, which is just going to take my Flare Blitz very well. Though he's still toxic, so he needs to do something about that soon. And I know my Entei really is in a losing battle here against this Onyx, so I go into my Dusknor, which is my physically defensive wall. I also have the substitute on this Dusknor, and he goes for the Pluck here instead of the Toxic. So he's fairly confident I don't have the substitute probably, and he just like is trying to set up all of the stuff on here. But I'm going to reveal that I do have the substitute, so he's not able to Toxic me, and my attacking move on here is Nightshade, so I will be able to do nice chunks to him. And at this time we were actually chatting. He thought he was on the winning side of this battle, because he could just stall me out of PP, but he completely forgot about the fact that Dusknor had more than one move. So I'm just gonna like keep on going for the Nightshade here, and this is just a more stally part of the battle, where he's gonna wake up and go for the rest because he thinks he can stall me. And I mean, I can't really say much about this part because there's no real predictions going on here. And here's the point where he realizes this is a losing battle, so he goes in Drifloon here. And I completely forget how much base HP Drifloon has, and I should have noticed here, because Nightshade is doing less than 25%. Now, he already revealed he had sub, and I felt, okay, Nightshade has 100 base power, no, it just does 100 damage, I feel like I can do it. I go for the Littleused, thinking he's going to go for the Ominous Wind, which he actually has. I think he goes for the Shadow Ball, but he has the Ominous Wind, trying to break my sub, but he actually just goes for the sub, probably predicting my Will-O-Wisp. And I think my Nightshade can take out his sub, but it can't. So I'm like, shit, I can't break this sub with one Nightshade. This is very bad. So what I have to do is I have to go into Noctowl, and I need to Whirlwind this Drifloon out. He goes with the Ominous Wind, which I also predicted, which is why I went to Noctowl. But I just needed to Whirlwind this Drifloon out, because it could just stockpile Baton Pass all day. And he Baton Passes his sub. Now what he does is he is actually Baton Passing into the thing he does not want me to Whirlwind him into. And I Whirlwind, and he is going into Emboar now. So I'm like, okay, this thing is just going to be the typical Scarf Emboar. I haven't seen a Scarfer on his team so far. I think this thing fits. So I go into my physical wall Dusknor, either going to take a fighting move or take a Flare Blitz relatively well, I hope. And he's just going for the Flame Charge. I'm like, oh, okay, this is the Flame Charge Emboar. Not quite as good in my opinion, but I mean, if you can actually set it up, it's pretty threatening. Now, Flare Blitz is doing 43%. That is a lot. So he's probably adamant max attack Emboar. So I just go for the substitute because I'm running sub Pain Split Dusknor, and I know I'll be able to get a good chunk of health back because Emboar has a relatively high base HP stat. And he's also wearing himself down with these recoil hits from Flare Blitz. So, Pain Split doesn't bring me back quite as high as I'd hope. He just goes for the Flame Charge again, just making sure he's going to outspeed anything I might switch into, probably predicting a switch. I go for the Nightshade because I need to get as much HP down on this Emboar, because it's just gonna run straight through my team, because it's doing a lot to my physical wall. He goes into Drifloon here, just to take a Nightshade, and here I know the sub is incoming, so I'm gonna predict a sub or an Ominous Wind or setup, and just go into Noctowl, because Noctowl pretty much effectively walls this Drifloon set. So he baton passes, predicting my Noctowl switch too, and he goes right into Emboar. Now here I make a very big misplay. I go for the Roost, thinking I'll be able to take a Flame Charge better than I can, or if he'll just go for the Wild Charge and kill himself off. Now what happens here, he goes for the Flame Charge, and it does way too much. And now he's faster than me. What I should have done there is I should have Air Slash, which more than likely would have killed off this Emboar. But I didn't, because I thought Flame Charge would do less, because it is pretty low base power. So he's at +2 speed right now. So I need to do something about this. So what I do is I go into Entei, because I know Extreme Seed will kill him off, and I know he'll know the Extreme Seed will kill him off. So he's going to make the switch into Onix, which pretty much shutdowns my Entei set. I'm not carrying the HP Grass, I'm carrying Iron Tail for some reason, which I didn't want to bank on the high miss chance. In all honesty, it was a bad move choice. So I go right into Octillery, which will be able to do, like, set up on this Onix, because this Onix really can't do anything. I'm running Sub Charge Beam, which I'm gonna go sub up, predicting a switch or sleep turns, as he's just gonna protect, so I get a free sub. He has no way of predicting this Octillery set, because, like, who actually sees Octillery? So I have a free sub up right now, so I'm feeling good. Now, he's gonna go for the sub here, while I'm just gonna go for the Charge Beam. And once he sees this Charge Beam, he's gonna freak out, and he's gonna be like, oh shit, this Octillery is going to sweep my team, and I can't do anything about it. So, Octillery is just looking really good here. He has to break my sub with an X-Scissor. Well, I just go for the safe Ice Beam, predicting like an Onix switch, just in case he just wants to catch me off guard. Ninjask goes down. Like, no more baton passes from Ninjask. None of that shit anymore. So he brings in Emboar now, and I'm like, okay, so I'll be able to live a Flame Charge, and if he goes for the Wild Charge, it will kill itself off with Recoil. It doesn't. So I'm like, oh dear, this Emboar is a huge threat to my team. So I have Entei out right now, and I have to go for a move that's going to get rid of this Emboar. I decide I'm just going to go for the Flare Blitz, because it's going to do the most amount of damage to anything here, and he's not going to want to take an Extreme Speed. So Flare Blitz is going to do enough that because he's switched into Onix, it will be a 2-hit KO. He will not wake up in time to rest again. So I'll be able to get rid of this Onix and barely live from Flare Blitz Recoil. So what's going on here is we're just all like, okay, this is how it works. We need to see if Dusknoir can live a hit from Emboar, because Entei will be able to outspeed and take out Drifloon with the Choice Band of Flame Charge, but it will die to its recoil. So right now, it's Emboar versus Dusknoir. The question is, will it be able to live a Flare Blitz? The answer is no, because Emboar is in Blaze range right now, and Dusknoir is not bulky enough to take one Flare Blitz, which he didn't actually think, but in the same time it will kill itself with Flare Blitz Recoil, making it a draw, which is a very awesome end to a battle. You don't see very much of those. And that was a great game, Herpy. I hope we can probably do another word battle. We probably will. That'd be awesome. But yeah, if you like that battle, be sure to give a like. Subscribe to PO Community if you haven't already. I'm Tyki7125. If you like me, hopefully someone will put my channel below. And I am out.